Hey guys, we are in Bali, Indonesia, one of the most popular destinations for digital nomads in the world. In today's video, we'll be interviewing digital nomads and asking them questions like what they do for work, how much money they make, how much they pay in rent, and why exactly did they pick Bali of all places. The goal of this video is to inspire you to live your life on your own terms, and hopefully this video gives you some ideas of things you can do if you want to travel the world. So with that, let's get right into it. What's your name, age, and what do you do for work?
I'm Guom, I'm 33, and I'm a freelance software developer since 12 years now. I'm also DJ and producer, and I'm doing coaching and online courses for freelancers to go to like 300, 400, 500K a year.
Tell me about the software engineering. When did you start, and do you have your own company now?
Yeah, I have my own company. I started when I was 20, just after my study. So I worked for a startup for like 3-4 years. So I gained a lot of experience there because I was a CTO. And then I started 100% my software company. So I have 2 people working for me right now. And I'm specializing on Microsoft technologies. So I'm building website and mobile application with Microsoft technologies, basically.
What is the DJing about? Do you make any money from it?
Yeah, I started to make money actually since 1 year, 2 years now. I started releasing music 4 years now. And I'm starting to play mostly in Asia.
Okay.
I have a few gigs coming in Bangkok and I'm getting paid for that. So it's really nice. Yeah.
Are you willing to share how much you make per month in total?
Yeah, this year it has been like very inconsistent because I had like big 6 months. From January to August, I made like maybe 20 to 30K a month. And for like the past 5 months, because I don't have any customers, it's like 0. So it's very inconsistent. But I would say like 250 to 300K last year.
And how much do you pay for rent?
Right now, I pay just my guest house close to the villa because my friend, they invite me at the villa.
Oh, I thought you lived there. You don't live here. Okay.
No. I have a guest house like 3 minutes from here, and I just come to the villa every day. Like 2 months ago, I was living in a very beautiful place in Bali, in Canggu. It cost me like back in the day maybe 1,000 euros a month, and now it costs me like 400 euros a month.
Do you think there's an ideal time to work in hours per day?
No, of course not. No, I mean, you should have, I think, because right now I start to feel that I have some kind of attention deficit. So I start to know better myself. But back in the day, I would say that I was able to sometimes work like 12 hours a day and sometimes like not working at all. I think that you should aim for like a minimum hours. Maybe I would say 2 hours a day or something like that. But don't go too much because in content creator economy or even as a developer, we do like very creative work and also like cognitive work. So the energy can go low very fast. So I think the good amount of work will be like 4 to 5 hours a day, productive work.
And how long have you been living this digital nomad life?
10 years now, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been traveling a lot in Southeast Asia, Thailand a lot, Indonesia, Singapore, but also in France, also in Europe. I lived in Portugal, in Spain, on Canary Island. Yeah.
What's the best place so far?
Kopangan in Thailand. It's a small island in Thailand, and it's really nice because you can party on the beach, and there is also a very quiet vibe, I would say. So if you want to restore your energy and be quiet, you can party and then be quiet and party and be quiet.
So why are you here or not there?
Because I'm going there like next month. Yeah.
Okay. Would you ever want to be a full-time DJ?
Yeah, I mean. Full-time, I don't think full-time, but like I would like to play maybe 2-3 times a week, having gigs basically. But like the touring, if you want to be full-time, it can be very taxing for your energy, and I need my sleep, bro.
What advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Get into action. Get into action. This is gonna be my mantra, I would say. Like just do it. Don't overthink any kind of strategy, any kind of process. Just do something and do step by step. Improve.
And what's your biggest goal for 2024?
I would like to do 500K in revenue this year and play in front of like more than 10,000 people.
What is your name, age, and what do you do for work?
My name is Victoria. I live in Bali for 2 years and I have several jobs, entrepreneurships. First, I'm a model here and I work with Australian model agency. The second job is I'm actually artist and fashion designer, so I do paintings on the clothes, like custom-made clothes, and sell them as well. And third, what I'm doing and want to do right now, I want to do like online courses about women practices, what I learned.
So were you a model before you came here, or you found the agency here?
I found the agency here. Just my friend friends said me like, Victoria, you should be a model here. Why you don't work as a model here? And I was like, yeah, why? And I sent some of my pictures and link on Instagram. It was like 1 minute, and all agencies in Bali invited me, and I chose the best one.
How does one become a model in Bali or anywhere?
It's very simple. You need just to have a portfolio, like several shootings with good photographers in your book, and you upload this in Google Drive. The next, you should have good snaps. Snapshots is like your photos in the bikini, like black bikini on the white wall, with good light, where without makeup, the agency can see your skin, your hairs, how you're posing, and you also send your measurements. That's it.
What percent of your income comes from modeling versus your other entrepreneurship gigs?
It's different, but modeling is the first where I get incomes. Usually my income per month, it's like $2,000, $2,500. Sometimes it can be more, but usually it's like average is like that.
From modeling or in total?
From modeling. Like from modeling, I can earn easy $2,000 per month, $2,500. But sometimes I don't have sales of my jackets and my brand, so I have just modeling is my income. But sometimes when it's like low season, I can earn through modeling not so much, like 1,500. I can sell jackets and some my stuff from my shop. It's different. I never know how much I will earn per month.
When one is in Bali for a hot second, what's the one thing they should absolutely do?
Go to temple, go to Sibatu in Ubud. Like it's holy temple, because you can see this only in Bali. It's unique. Also, I would recommend go to Uluwatu, to some cliff, to some very beautiful beach, and visit some couple of unique places here, like cafes, restaurants.
So you came to Bali, you were just like, let me just go to Bali. You had nothing planned.
I had nothing planned. I had just money, like what I invested, and to live here like for 1-2 years easily. And I wanted to find myself here, like in the movie Eat, Pray, Love, and I found.
Have you found yourself?
Yeah.
You think finding yourself is a destination and not a journey?
It's journey. I will try to find myself all my life, but now I understand the way where I should go. Before, when I came to Bali, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. It was a really big journey, because Bali is cleansing your karma. It's a very powerful energy place, and it changes you a lot if you live here for a long time.
Is Bali the best place you've been to in your life so far?
I think yes.
Okay, then visit Bali, but don't come in busy season, because you're just gonna visit traffic.
My name is Tarush. I run a tech company, and I'm 34.
How did you get into entrepreneurship?
I moved to Bali and kind of fell in love with Bali, and I had to make it work.
What does your tech company do?
We're a data and analytics SaaS platform. So, we work with larger businesses to help them with data and analytics.
How did you get into that?
My background's in data, so I got to be one of the first data engineers in the world. I spent my career helping some of the biggest companies leverage data and saw a big opportunity in the market. And when I moved to Bali and decided I want to live here.
Are you willing to share ballpark revenue numbers?
About $1.5 million.
How did you move to Bali?
I came here on a 10-day vacation. I actually was working in China for a company called WeWork, and this was around when WeWork's IPO was failing. I didn't want to go back to America, so I decided to come to Bali on a 10-day vacation, clear my head. And as soon as I land in Bali, that's day one of COVID, I couldn't go back to sort of China for a few months, and a few months later, I didn't want to go back, and this became home.
What makes Bali special?
Bali is very unique because it's incredible weather, great sort of community is probably my favorite thing, low cost of living, live really well, incredible food, beaches. If you want to go out and party, you have that. Probably the wellness capital of the world. If you're into, spirituality, you have a little bit of that. And the best part is you drive scooters everywhere.
How did you first make friends when you moved to Bali?
A lot of my friends joke about this, but I went to the sauna every day. I would just hang out in the sauna. We actually met. We're friends from New York, but we saw each other in the sauna at the wrong gym, just a few blocks away.
It's very Bali.
It's very Bali. Like in America, like happy hour is going for drinks after work, and that's just like, the drug of choice. In Bali, it's probably hanging out in the sauna on the sunset. That's like...
Advice do you have for people who want to quit their pressing 9-to-5s and want to start their own business?
I think it's a great question. I think about it a lot. Like, I've always wanted to build a business, lived in New York, found success early on, made good money, spent it all. Making a lot of money, like taxes, making money, rent, like going out, drinks, parties, facilities, everything, right? And, I would have never been able to go imagine how I would build a company living a lifestyle like that. In some ways, I came over here and was forced. I didn't want to leave. And like, you can't go work for Facebook or Google in Bali. It's just not a thing. So I had to make it work. And I think in some ways, a little bit of pressure to do it is a good thing because I needed that little push to basically make it happen. And, also just a month of runway in New York would last me 6 months in Bali. Also, I was here during the pandemic, so maybe it was even more cost effective. Bali is starting to get more expensive. There's so many other sort of digital nomad spots in the world which are super affordable. So, I think a lot of people try to do it with like a side, like a part-time hustle. And for me, that wouldn't work because there's less pressure. Like, hey, I have a paycheck. There's no reason to actually go execute. I think one of the best advice I ever got from a friend was like, nothing happens till you put a date on it. And like putting a date, like this is the day I'm going to do it. That's going to naturally make you think about saving as much as you can till that date. Once you commit to something, I think you naturally start working backwards on it. But, the 3 tips I would give you is sort of put a date on it, use that date to sort of prepare. Make sure the date is not a year out. I think 4 to 6 months out keeps things interesting enough. So first thing I would do is that, based on your sort of what you have saved, try to find a place where you have 8 to 12 months of like runway because, you don't want to get to a place and be sort of stressed. In general, like have some sort of plan of like what you can do. It doesn't have to sort of go cover your living expenses first, but, have a plan in general of like what are a few skills you could use to go monetize, right? Like building courses, sort of connecting people. There's so many different ways sort of nomads today can make money, like sort of leveraging a skill, coaching.
What advice do you have for entrepreneurs in general?
The entrepreneur vision, the entrepreneur story, which I was told is you got to work really hard and you got to hustle all the time. And if you rest, you're messing up. And I grew up with that culture too, that hard work is rewarded. And if you don't work hard, you will fail. And I think that's just the biggest lie I've ever heard. I think most successful and successful it's got many definitions, but the people I respect the most who are able to go create businesses that change the world and go play a long-term game are the ones who move slow and move fast. Less is more, move slow and move fast. These are all pieces of advice I wish I knew when I first started out.
Hi, I'm Sasha. I'm 37. For my work, I develop and sell houses in Costa Rica. I also do some investments in the stock market, and I own 2 rental properties. One's a short-term and one's a long-term rental property.
So when and why did you first move to Bali?
I'm here more as a traveler. I was here 2018, 2019, actually living. Now I'm spending part of the time here and part of the time traveling, part of the time in Costa Rica. I came here after heartbreak in like 2016 and just, as is a classic story, very classic. And I just fell in love with it. It was something that kind of hit everything that I was looking for. Quickly developed a community here. Very, very easy way of life. Very entrepreneurial. A lot of people striving to do big things, which I like surrounding myself with. I would think what kept me here in the times before and what keeps me coming back is the community here. I just feel it stronger than anywhere else.
Has it healed your broken heart?
Yeah. I don't know if it was Bali or if it was just time, but it worked.
What is the best and worst thing about Bali?
Man, there's so many amazing things about Bali, honestly. Landscape-wise, it's absolutely beautiful. The people are incredibly friendly and incredibly nice. Both expats and locals, everybody is super, super friendly. The culture here is very rich, very prominent, which I like. There's great options for staying healthy and eating healthy and activities. Those are the best things. The more difficult things, traffic sucks, the congestion, road noise, pollution. I think the shortness or the complexity of the visa system is hard as well.
What advice do you have for people who want to move to Bali?
Come and check it out first, because some people come with these expectations that it's going to be like it is on Instagram, and pretty much the only thing that it is like on Instagram, it's full of influencers. So there's a certain level of obnoxiousness, I guess, that comes with that. But I mean, when you're here, like there's a realness and a grittiness to it that not everything works. Like if you're coming from a wealthy country, not everything works like it does back in a wealthy country. I love it. I find that that's part of the realness to it. Some people can't handle it. And then some people, the island kind of chews them up and spits them out. They come here and just a series of bad things happen with motorcycle accidents, accident, petty theft, getting ripped off, and then they just leave and like, I can't do this place. So definitely come and visit first, see if you like it, and then just do it, I guess.
What advice do you have for people who are sick of their 9-to-5s and want to live abroad and, live this nomadic lifestyle?
I'd say really have some introspection. Have a moment to see if that's actually what you want or if that is what you think you want through the portrayal of what you've seen on social media or other platforms. I think a lot of people think they want it. There's like a honeymoon period when you start, but I don't think it's a lifestyle that suits everybody. Yeah, I would say really, really reflective, like, okay, is this what you want? Because there's a lot of positives with experiences and kind of living outside the box and all that, but a lot of people will get uncomfortable with the uncertainty of it all. So you have to be very, very okay with uncertainty or an ungroundedness as well, especially with nomadic lifestyle.
Any parting thoughts you have for the audience?
Watch the rest of this video and get off YouTube.
So I'm Mark, I'm 28, and I run a freelance consulting business for strategy for brands. You're about to launch a creative agency, so going more into the full-scale creative solutions, and also looking to launch a B2B2C secondhand designer handbag company as well, so that should be fun.
What does a consulting agency do?
So essentially we come in and solve agencies' problems. So they'll have a gap in their team, so they would have recruited an end client, and they're normally global clients. They'll need someone to help with the strategic support. So typically I would come in and lead that part of the project and work with the designers, the account directors and all that kind of a team just to make sure that the solution gets to the end and where it needs to be and just really lead and drive that all the way through the process.
What does your daily schedule look like?
At the moment it's looking good actually. Normally up around 6, head out for a quick hour in the morning for a walk, so just to clear my head. Then I get to the cafes or workspaces and really just get my head down and get the work done. So typically around about 12 I'll take a break again, and then either I'll go to the beach or I'll go to the gym, and then it's back on it again in the evening, just replying to emails, keeping up with content, talking to the relevant people, and yeah, just making sure all goes smoothly.
And how come you're in Bali?
Well, I've just saw Bali as a really good opportunity. So I was in London. I'd been working in London for about 6 years prior, but it was very grey, very rainy. It was a bit of a cloud over my creativity. So I wanted the sunshine, I wanted the freedom, I wanted the sea. So Bali seemed like a great place. I knew a couple of people that had set up here, and the fact that the scene's really good. And I gave it a go, took a shot, and haven't really looked back since.
How do you stay productive while traveling?
It probably comes down to a couple of things. So I think firstly, it's just discipline. Obviously, there's a lot of distractions in Bali, so there's a lot of times where you could slack off, but you just have to make sure that you're holding true, and also stick to the reason why you came here. We didn't come here for just a holiday, you came here to further yourself. And I think secondly, it's definitely like the schedule as well. Plan out and map out hours in your day when you do certain tasks. Otherwise, you could just get lost. You could just go to the beach, you end up sunbathing, you have a nap, a little siesta, and suddenly it's 4 o'clock and it's game over.
Are you willing to share how much you make per month?
It typically depends. So the consulting business, I'd say on average makes about 8 to 9 grand a month, GBP.
And how much do you pay for rent?
And so I've just been renting rooms off friends and people I know. So guest houses as well, they're about 300 GBP a month. Villas typically around 600 to 700 GBP a month.
What is your hot take?
Okay, this is something which has really helped me in an opinion. One of the biggest powers I've learned is that the version of you that you have in your head does not exist anywhere else. Every interaction you have with someone, they're forming their opinion of you. They don't know about every other experience that you have in your life. So that's a power. You can craft whoever you want to be to whoever you want to be. And don't worry about all the anxiety and the fears and the worries or mistakes you've made in the past, because every new interaction, you create a new version of yourself. So yeah, just enjoy it, be powerful with it, and use it intentionally.
My name is Quinn. I'm 23, and I'm a museum curator manager.
And how come you're in Bali right now?
I went to high school here, so I wanted to visit, and also just thought it would be a really good, warm climate to work in.
And can you do your job while you're in Bali?
Well, for the winter I can. So I do a lot of different things. In the summer we do programs, kids camps, tours, and that's when I have to be at work in person. And during the winter I do a lot of research and social media, applying for financial assistance and that sort of stuff.
Are you willing to share how much you make per month?
It depends how much work I get done. but usually between Canadian 1,000 to 2,000 bi-weekly, so 2 to 4 grand a month.
And how much you pay for rent in Bali?
For this place, it's about maybe 450, 500 a month Canadian.
What advice do you have for people who want to work and travel?
My biggest advice is what I did with my job is I love to travel. It's one of my biggest priorities in life. So when I got my job, I told them that, and I told them that in the winter we're closed. So can I just work from my laptop from anywhere? And they luckily agreed with a lot of, back and forth on the logistics, but no one in my position had done it before me. So sometimes you just got to ask for what you need, and the worst they could say is no.
I love that advice. What are some things you do to stay healthy in Bali?
It's hard not to be healthy in Bali. I feel like there's so many affordable yoga classes, and the food is so affordable. It's always fresh, fruits and vegetables. So I usually just stick with that.
How do you make friends while living abroad?
Just talk to someone. I don't know. Talk to the first person you see. Yeah. And definitely staying in hostels helps a lot for me.
My name's Yakir. I'm 32 and I run an e-commerce company.
How did you get into running an e-commerce company?
5 years ago, I was just looking for ways to make money online, and I came across a few YouTube videos, and at the same time I saw the change and transition into consumer behavior moving online, and it just felt like a great opportunity, something I wanted to learn, and I just thought there's a lot of knowledge online about it, and it was free, so I just started learning just through YouTube.
How much time does it take from when you had the idea to when you started making money?
When I first had the idea, I quickly took action. I started a store within 3 weeks. I started making revenue within a few weeks, but not profitable. I basically took a loss after like 2-3 months using all my savings, but then I found ways to make some more money, and then I would say after 6 months I was profitable, and I went up from there.
What's your hot take?
Don't try to find your passion and try to make money from your passion, because a lot of people are like trying to find their passion in order to make money and like live this kind of like perfect kind of harmony of like, oh yeah, I'm making money from my passion. Your money doesn't have to come from your passion. You should always pursue your passion or something you feel good about, but don't always try to kind of like make money from your passion, because a lot of times passions are things that are more like maybe on the creative side or something, and it's not so easy to make money from it. So don't get lost into the trap that you have to make money from your passion.
What advice do you have for entrepreneurs and also aspiring entrepreneurs?
It's very cliche, but like never give up, because if you don't give up, you're gonna make it. There's no way you won't make it. Everyone has a different timeline. It can take 2 years, it can take 5 years, it can take 10 years, it can take 2 months. Everyone has their own luck, and it's all about timing and being in the right place. You will for sure make it. You just don't want to look back and know you're giving up and not manage to achieve your dream. So just keep at it, learn from your mistakes. Just know that all the most successful entrepreneurs, like when you look at the graph of their success, it always looks like this. So when you're in a slump and you feel that things are not going so well, just know that you're for sure on the right track.
My name is Jonas, I'm 30 years old, and I'm the owner of a social media and content agency.
How do you become an owner of a social media content agency?
It was pretty randomly because I quit my job 3 years ago, and I knew that I want to create content and want to make a living out of it. And I had a small amount of savings, and I just flew to Bali with a one-way ticket. Somehow I made it happen. I met a lot of inspiring people, and I learned a lot because I didn't have a plan B. And that's how I got into travel content creation. And at one point, I met one of my best friends, and we created a social media and content agency.
And how much time did it take from coming to Bali to starting to make money?
It was not specifically Bali, but in my experience, I thought it could take a long time, but in the end it happened very quickly. Like after half a year we started our company.
Are you willing to share how much you make per month?
I'm making per month like 5,000 until 10,000 euros per person, around that. But it always depends on the projects. If we have a lot of projects, we have the social media and content agency. If we have a big project, it's different. It can be also more, but we also have like an amount of social media clients. So this is it's like coming every month.
How much do you pay for rent in Bali?
Right now I pay 10 million rupiah. That's around 600 euros.
What is the hardest lesson that you've learned while being in Bali?
When I started like 3 years ago, and when I really wanted to travel and I came to Bali, I thought like all of my problems were like solved or like, but I think you really need to have balance here. Like even like, I mean, Bali is an amazing place, but I definitely learned that you can be unhappy at any place, and you really need to figure out what you want to do with your life. And if you don't know what you want to do with your life, you will feel the same. So it really doesn't matter about the place specifically. You really need to know what you want to do and how you want to spend your time. Work.
My name is Nadine, I'm 27 and I'm a cup facilitator, which is an activation of your vital energy.
How would you explain that to a 5-year-old?
Well, it's an activation of your life force energy. So once your life force is flowing again, you immediately just start changing your life. I stopped drinking alcohol, I stopped eating meat, I started to live a really conscious life, and that comes with changes. That comes with moving to a different place, it comes with being surrounded with people who you actually are connected with, and leaving the unhealthy lifestyle, which is partying, drinking, yeah.
For someone that wants to get into it, where do you take a class?
Well, they are worldwide. Now we have a lot of facilitators worldwide, but you can just reach out to me and it's possible to do online.
What does your daily schedule look like?
Very different. The beauty of it is that you are really independent. So I teach one class just about 2 hours and then I'm basically free.
And how many are you doing per month?
Depends. I would say probably eight classes per month.
And how much can you make on average in a month?
Like 8,000. Let's say 4,000 to 8,000. Depends where you are, how many you do.
And how much you pay for rent in Bali?
1,500.
What advice do you have for people who want to work and travel?
I would say find what is your dharma, like what is your life purpose. And once you're living your life purpose, once you do for work what you actually love, I would say create a life where you don't need vacation from. And once you find out what you love, what you're doing, money will just come, and it will come even the double once you leave your corporate job, trust me. And yeah.
I think you found your purpose.
Yes, definitely.
And where are you from and where do you live?
I'm originally from Germany, but I've been nomad for probably the last 8 years. My base is now in Tulum, but I'm still nomad. So 2 months here and I'm heading to Costa Rica.
Is Tulum better or Bali?
Tulum.
Why is that?
Tulum is just much smaller and it's much calmer and there's no traffic and you have a lot of Latin culture. You have a lot of the Mexican, it's all warm, fuzzy people. It's really easy to connect with the locals also.
What activities are you doing to stay healthy in Bali?
Yoga and surf and meditation.
Any classes you would recommend?
Try the Sundays festivals at Udara. Check out Yoga Barn, Radiantly Alive. Yeah.
What is the best advice someone gave to you?
To surrender, I would say. To surrender and just stay open instead of trying to force to get this job, trying to force to live in this place, trying to force to be in that relationship, to just completely surrender and stay open to life. And you start to attract the right locations, the right people, the right job for you.
Any parting thoughts for the audience?
Just go live your life, because life is too short to be in an office from 9 to 5. And as I said at the beginning, we're here to create a life we don't need vacations from. So we don't need to be in an office, trust me. Just go, you will find a remote job, things will fall into place, and you can live a vacation literally the whole year.
I love it.
That's it, guys. I had a blast talking to everyone and learning about all the cool ways people are making money while living their life to its fullest. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. I'll be making more videos about life in Bali soon, so stay tuned.